Perfect. Alright, and we should be off. Yes, we are. Okay, good. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, the last thing I want to talk about, I forgot. I literally didn't even know. Okay. This has been a mess, but glad to be here. I hope everything's going well with the stream.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Alright, that's good to hear.
So this is Pit Percent, a category that was made to defeat the pit as soon as possible. It was actually optimized a lot fairly recently, where it went down like 5 minutes in the past year. It mostly went down just because people got better RNG and got better at the run in general. There was actually a recent 2-minute time save found in this category, but none of the runners will probably be... Oh yeah, none of them can use it because they're not on Japanese.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's pretty exciting, but our possible newest replacement to Livestream Jump has been found. I mean, it was found, we've known about it for a long time, but it was finally made possible RTA, which is really cool stuff. I don't believe any runners will be doing it in the tournament because it's not really a requirement to use English, but we highly recommend it just to avoid crashes and make it fair mostly.
Yeah, it's basically version exclusive to Japanese, unless you play on a disc, which is going to lose more time just to load, so probably none of the runners will use it.
But yeah, so to talk about the runners for a bit, like I said earlier, PTL was in the previous tournament, and I believe placed 5th. I believe he had to drop out of one of the losers round matches, but PTL's made some serious improvements, and I believe he's, out of all the runners in the tournament, I think he's 4th. I think because you, Castle, and Teddy are all ahead of him, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, I have like a 159, he has a 131,
okay.
I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then TLK has, I believe, is 6th out of all the competitors, but I'm really interested to see how TLK does. I think that he just got this PB recently. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he got it yesterday, I think.
Oh,
or
nice. So that'd be pretty cool.
Race.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It'd be pretty cool to see MPB again. We got a lot of Pape Comfies in the chat. What's up, everyone? There's a couple people that I missed. What's up, Ice Cold Refreshment, Shagalicious, Flash? What's going on? But yeah, there's been a couple different changes this tournament. A lot of things remain the same. I guess. To start off, the Restreamers and Commentators are now on the stream, which makes it easier for a lot of people. So that's pretty nice. And just overall, there's a lot more things. Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. Clips. If you guys can clip any good moments from the tournament during any match, that would be really well appreciated. Because at the end of this tournament, just like we did the last tournament, there's going to be a highlight reel on YouTube. And the more clips, the better the highlight reel is. So we had some pretty funny clips from last tournament, but not too many. So I'm hoping we can get more this time around.
I'll link the video to the highlight reel of the last tournament.
Yeah. The link that Zach just put in the chat is the highlight reel. The Rick roll. That was a good. I don't know if that clip made it in. I can't remember. But it was too good. Same with the Pikachu on stream. Castles.
So, as you could see here, before starting movement, they start with a jump. This is just basic, fast movement. If you jump, it brings you to top speed instantly, as opposed to building up your speed slowly up to max speed.
Yeah, there's a lot of like small little movement things that not just at the beginning of the game, but they happen all throughout the run. that
especially in pit, actually.
yeah, that is true. Another one which you might see here is I believe when entering a door, if you flip backwards, it saves a very small amount of time, but it adds up a lot.
So PTL has basically taken the lead just from text, it looks like. Just more experience at getting through text will save him a bit of time over the run. But the main important part is the pit.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important part of this run. So, for anyone who's unfamiliar with the pit category, basically this route consists of playing through all of Chapter 1, and then playing into 2-1 to get Boomer, and then going straight to the flipside pit. There's a lot of strategy that goes into this run, and I really like watching these races because every runner sort of has a different route. They pick up different items, and I mean, item drops are also a very big factor that can change different routes. So there's a lot that goes into it, but especially the pit, I mean, there's definitely like some quick lead changes in the pit if you're watching a race between two good runners.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think like they could skip the shop and then save a lot of time, but like it's actually going to save you a lot of time having the extra healing items so that you don't have to like consider healing and lose time doing so.
That's true. And then I mean, we'll talk about when we get to 1-2, but certain runners may buy fire bursts from the shop. We'll talk about the uses for that later on. But right now, this is sort of what I consider to be the end of prologue here, is you start to get in 1-1. And 1-1 is actually a really important level for this category specifically, mainly with the squiggly grind.
Yeah, so what they're going to be doing after a few rooms from now, they're going to grind to like 30,000 points. That's just going to make killing enemies easier later. If you don't get enough points, you can basically get soft locked out of the pit, so you need to get a little bit of points in 1-1 to be safe.
Yeah, so the soft lock that Zach's talking about is in room 25. You need to be at 60k, and if you're not, then you can't kill the only enemy in that room, meaning you can't advance. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into that. It's not too difficult to get to 60k. There's a lot of backups if you have a bad grind, but if you have a good grind here, you essentially lock up, being able to continue the run.
That is true, you can get soft locked in room 19, but if you kick a shell and flip into 3D, it can just kill the enemy for you, and you wouldn't soft lock.
So yeah, this is this guy right here is Bestovius. This is really each character in this game has certain different abilities, and the one that you get from Bestovius is probably the most important in this game, I would say. It's flipping into 3D. It's the main gimmick of this game, and Mario's the only character that can do this. And this is literally Bestovius' own purpose, like only purpose in this game. So that's pretty cool.
And they're picking up 2 items in this room, along with another item in this room. The shell is going to be used in room 89. The shroom shake is just for safety, and the fire burst will be used to get into chapter 2.
So yeah, there's a lot of different strategy that goes on with mainly just the amount of items that you pick up. PTL got a dried shroom drop. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, there's so much different strategy with each runner, and again, like I said, there's a lot of luck involved in certain item drops and certain things that you buy from the shop, and there's just a whole lot of stuff that goes on in this run, and every runner, like I said, really has a different route.
So PTL is coming up on the point grind where he's probably going to get like 30,000 points as long as he does it correctly.
So yeah, this is the squiggly grind right here. And yeah, this is a pretty decent grind so far. I'm pretty sure PTL will get that. So right now, he's going to level up twice. That ups his attack. And yeah, that was a really good grind. So there's a lot of strategy that goes in it. That was decent.
If you saw he hit a block that contained a coin earlier, that block has about a 20% chance to give you various different items. A coin is slightly higher likely to come out of that block, but if you get something like a fast or slow flower, it could save a lot of time in this category.
Yeah, so just like you said, the fast and slow flowers basically will increase the amount of points you get by 3 times, and you can rack up like a lot of points. You can actually rack up, I believe, more than 60,000 just on this grind alone if you get a fast flower or slow flower. So
yeah, you can actually get about 100,000 if you do it correctly.
jeez, that is insane. But yeah, that was so PTL just finished 1-1. He's going to be heading into 1-2, which is one of the levels that we'll see a couple different routing differences. TLK is not too far behind him. He's about, I'd say, 20-30 seconds. Just this room, a very long walking room, so.
So 1-2 isn't really too interesting, apart from the fact that they're going to probably shop to get items. It looked like PTL did do some coin collecting. I would probably guess he's going to go for 3 Shroom Shakes, or he might try and get like 3 in a Fire Burst or something like that. Fire Bursts can help in some runs, but as you get better at the category, I don't think they're worth it, actually, to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Fire Burst is actually, I mean, I don't have too much experience, but it's a more common drop than certain other items, so you can actually get it. Yeah,
you'll usually get drops anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then to talk about 1-2 for a little bit, in the any percent category, there's a trick called, well, there's multiple tricks now because everything's different, but there used to be, the strategy for any percent was a life stream jump, which is 50 coins at the 1-2 shop, and then you'd have to basically die in midair and hit a midair 1 frame, and that skips about like a minute and a half of the level, I'm pretty sure, and it's not viable in, yeah, closer to 2 minutes, yeah, and it's not, no pit percent runners do it, especially not in a tournament setting, because it will lose you a decent amount of time and a decent amount of coins by going for it and missing it.
But yeah, what was found recently was Green Bridge skip without a life stream, or, well, it was known, but there was no, like, RTA setup, and after messing with it for, like, 8 hours, some runners have gotten it down. It takes a lot of practice. But it can and will be used in future pit runs. The current world record doesn't use it, actually, so it's a potential, like, 1.5 minute to 2 minute time save on it.
Yeah, it's really insane, and it's definitely more viable in this category since you don't have to drop 50 coins on this shop. PTL is also doing the shop strat right here.
Yeah, I was about to say the reason that it wasn't done was because you want to get a lot of points, and you have to damage down so much to do life stream jumps, so it just wasn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And that stupid trick.
Yeah, it really is. So
looks like PTL got the 3 Shroom Shakes.
Yeah, he did. I believe he did the 3 Shroom Shakes. I didn't see it fully. I didn't know if it was Fire Burst or not, but.
So TLK actually went for the Cloud Coins, I believe, because he wants to get some extra healing items for safety. Which is a pretty good call.
Yeah, it's definitely a really safe bet to do that in this run, because we're in this category. You're entering the pit very, like, way early on than you're meant to. You're meant to be leveled up quite a lot more, and it's really easy to take a lot of damage, especially later in the pit. So they're definitely, extra healing items are nice to have.
So if you were to do Green Bridge skip, you would skip getting this Pixel Throw. But what's interesting is you get it back after beating the level. Any of the pixels that are like deemed possible to skip, for some reason, they added in like some sort of failsafe where they give it back to you. You can't do the same thing with, say, Thudley, where you'd have to get into a door that's not even spawned yet, which would just be completely impossible. So, I just found that interesting.
Yeah, I definitely...
Oh, sorry?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's definitely really interesting that, like, some pixels have that property while others don't, you know? Like, completing a level doesn't give you Thudley, or, like, another pixel will be Fleep.
The reason is because you could probably, as a game developer, see someone crossing a bridge, but you can't see them opening a pipe that isn't possible to open, or possible to go in. That's the example of Cudge.
Yeah. Oh, also, this is my favorite character in the game on PTL's screen. This is Old Man Watch It. He literally yells at you. Pretty cool.
The reason that the trick is basically exclusive to Japanese Green Bridge skip is because there's this out-of-bounds clip where you clip out of the shop, and they patched it in future versions past 1.0. And on Virtual Console, English 1.0, or English is not 1.0, sorry, it's 1.2, so you can't do that clip. There's also another issue. You can't push against the pipe for the setup because that was also moved because of potential out-of-bounds clipping. So there's a few things changed in later versions of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which, just like you said, Green Bridge skip isn't possible on this. The English version the runners are playing on is on Wii U, which was like the Wii U re-release. And when they re-released it, they released the most updated version that they have, obviously.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, so.
I'm surprised Japanese wasn't 1.2. I'm pretty sure there actually is a Japanese 1.2. So I think they just forgot to release the most recent version. I'm not 100% sure.
It's weird, but I'm cool. Yeah, it's weird, but I'm cool with it. So PTL right now is actually in 1.3, and this is the 1.3 grind. This is a very nice way to get points, and like I mentioned earlier, the fast flower multiplies the points you get by 3. It's a really good way to grind up points, and you get a decent amount of coins here as well. And it makes this room very fast.
Yeah, even though you're kind of like going a little bit out of your way to get points, it's actually faster than like not getting the fast flower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So it's like you might as well do it, even though it does take like a couple seconds to do.
And right here, so there's a lot of cool tricks in 1.3. This is actually one of my favorite. This is the coconut jump. You literally just take that squig from one side of the room to the other and just jump on its coconut. And that skips actually a really long cutscene of flipping around in midair. So
yeah, there's so many cool tricks in this game. They're just like basic platforming tricks. Mm-hmm. An example will be coming up after the Chunks fight, hopefully, if one of the runners get it.
Yeah, that's a good point. But first, this Chunks fight, this is the first boss fight in the game, technically. And O-Chunks is one of Count Bleck's minions. We're only gonna see, I think he's the only minion that we fight in this category. But it's a pretty simplistic fight. He can be a little annoying sometimes, but like right there. But I think mostly, as long as you stay at the right side of the wall, he should keep jumping at you. So I think PTL got it right here.
Yeah, what's interesting is if you keep bouncing on him and performing stylish moves, you multiply the points you get drastically. If you fall down at any point, you're gonna lose on like maybe 5,000 points, so it really sucks. It's basically RNG if you stay on him for the first couple hits, because if he tries to grab you, then he doesn't jump at you, so you can't land on him.
Yeah, whenever you see any point grinds, I think that was a good example, as well as quite interesting stuff going on TLK's screen. But
he accidentally killed the enemy he wanted to use.
Yeah, that happens.
So PTL is doing Ice Turbo Skip, where you jump off of the Ice Turbo. It looks like he got it here.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
I completely forgot to mention that was my bad. But,
Uh, So now you have to hold 1 and minus on this blue platform. There's like you're supposed to like find a sign that tells you to do it, but like obviously we know how to do that.
yeah, there's a lot of prior knowledge aspects that go on in this game, and that's probably one of the weirdest. It's like the only time that the minus button is used in the run, so that's pretty cool. Shoutouts to minus button. Pretty awesome.
Hey, it's used more than the B button.
That is very true. So, TLK's on the Chunks fight. I believe he'll be doing the same, roughly the same strat that PTL did. PTL's entering 1 currently.
So there is one scary thing about playing on English. You are safe from almost every crash in the game, but there is a fade-out crash on this first loading zone that can happen on any version of the game. So let's just hope it doesn't happen to any of the runners. It would be very unlikely to just happen in a race. So
That is...
he get it.
I don't know what just happened on TLK's screen. I think he got thrown by Chunks while he was off screen. That was really weird, but kind of cool. So, but yeah, Chunks can throw you, and it's a very long animation, but TLK's got it, so pretty good. Oh, and PTL's actually coming up to a pretty interesting trick. I believe he's gonna go for it, but this is key early. Basically what we do in this next room is you're meant to go to a different room and hit a switch that moves certain blocks so you're able to get a key, but we can actually clip out of bounds, align ourselves with a seam, and walk behind certain geometry, which allows us to just grab a key. It's a really cool trick which was found a little while back, probably like a year ago, year and a half, and PTL's got it. That's a really good key early right there.
Yeah, it was found in October of 2019.
So it isn't even a year old. I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
The way we found it was we were in a glitch hunting call and we were just trying random stuff and we found key early, along with tree skip like a few days later, or not a few days, like a week later.
Yeah, it was like that whole week. I mean, those 2 tricks that we've found all together. I mean, we've had a really good glitch hunting scene for this game for a while, and it's really created like some memorable moments and has found some really cool tricks.
Yeah, in the past like year, there's been like 10 minutes of time saves almost.
Yeah, this game's been broken like a lot, especially recently. There's actually been, I want to talk about this real quick while we're sorting the downswing, but there was actually quite a few discoveries, Green Bridge Skip being one of them, but there was actually a few discoveries just from the end of last tournament to today, the beginning of the second tournament. So it was really cool. Green Bridge Skip was one of them, and I believe there's been a lot of stuff in 5-4, Dottie Skip, as well as Scanner Skip being found for TAS only, which is, I mean, it's been really cool. There's a lot of stuff in that level that's been broken.
So TLK is going for the life room. It's a very good safety option in case he might die. He basically gets to live still. It's a very good idea for a race.
Dude, TLK's got like a boatload of shroom shakes in his inventory. So
You gotta be safe.
Yeah, he's playing ultra safe, which I can honestly commend. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So PTL is actually going into the next boss fight of this game. Each chapter, well, most chapters have a chapter boss, and this, for chapter 1, it's Fractal. We're actually going to see an alternate version of this fight towards the end of the run. We'll get to that later, but Fractal's pretty simple. We actually do a very neat trick where we can jump from the end of his tail to his head, because he does this big loop in the sky, and it actually saves 40 seconds each time you do it, because there's a very long cutscene on the ground.
Yeah, basically, there's just a lot of optimizations with Fractal that we'll probably cover. Since PTL's in a cutscene, we could focus on TLK. He's going to probably be doing key early.
Yeah, he got the clip first try, but he fell out of bounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I'm a few seconds behind.
It's all good. But yeah, he's going for it currently. This clip is really hard, so it's not easy. Like there's certain runners that can make it look really easy, but it's really precise where you have to let go of down right, and it can be a really tough trick, as you can see. But hopefully, I think this should be. I think he just lines himself up. I think he's got it. Nice job. That was really good.
Right. So what's interesting is TLK and PTL did two different methods of key early. PTL did one where you stay in 3D and jump into the blocks, which is a lot more precise. And TLK did a method where you flip twice. It's like half a second slower, but it's just so much safer.
Yeah. So let me go do a quick refresh. So PTL is currently in the Fractal cutscene. This is the part I was talking about where we actually skipped this cutscene 2 times in a row. It's gonna be just it's actually a pretty simple jump, and we're not really sure if it's like not intended or if it's like possibly an intended thing, but I mean either way it still saves us a lot of time.
So what PTL is going to be doing, at least I think he's soon.
Yeah, he already did.
He's going to use the 3D damage to get on to Fractal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really cool strat. Except a second.
Yeah, it actually saves like 3 seconds if you stand far back because it charges at you faster.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's an interesting discovery.
Yeah.
The Fractal fight is actually optimized quite a bit. It's actually quite hard to do it well.
Mm-hmm. Especially like to do it very fast. There's a lot of like again small optimizations. There's a lot of those in the run that maybe like just a normal viewer wouldn't notice, but when you play this game for a long time, it definitely all adds up, especially in our 80% run. So yeah, that was a really good fight for PTL right there. He did the skip 2 times, or the jump, whatever you want to call it. So pretty cool, and that's essentially the end of 1-4.
So PTL's on a pretty good run. He has had good execution for the most part in early game. But once you get into pit, that's when the run basically starts. Like, being a minute or 2 behind before the pit doesn't really matter that much.
Mm-hmm. There's so much that goes on during the pit that can lose or save a lot of time. And it's obviously helpful to get a lead on your opponent before going into the pit, but things can really change for different runners.
So now comes to like 8 minutes of pretty much just straight cutscene, because there's not really much going on in pre-chapter 2. But once they do get into chapter 2, I'd say that's when the run gets good. There's a lot of cool tricks, and then they start to enter the pit.
There's a couple small things in pre-chapter 2, but overall it's really just a lot of text mapping and a couple movement things. Yeah, TLK is starting the Fractal fight. We'll see if he goes for the 3D strat.
So PTL got a 2830 chapter 1, which is pretty good considering that he shot as well, so.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, PTL's on a decent pace. I'm not sure how that lines up with his PB, because I don't have splits in front of me, but yeah, that's a decent one.
Yeah, he's probably ahead, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he's minus 38. It's pretty good.
But that can all change in the pit.
Yeah, that is true, so. Oh, you know, I guess something to talk about. This cutscene that's going on PTL's screen. There's actually a very interesting thing about this room. If you use hacks, if you use fly hacks, and get up top on the ledge on the right side of this room, you can actually go down a pipe, grab a key, and that will basically sequence break the game into thinking that you're in Chapter 8-1. And there's been a few runners that have done. It's not like a legitimate category, but for emulator and hacks, you can actually do a category called Levitate %, where you can beat the game with using the Levitate code, as well as hacking in certain characters, pixels, and a bunch of other things that are needed to actually beat the game. So that's pretty cool.
Something to note, actually, if Chapter 8 early was to happen, I believe hit % would get a lot of benefits. It'd probably save like 10 minutes, but any %, I don't think there's a way to beat the game. But I believe it would save a lot of time in pit, and a lot with defeat schedule, because flop side would probably be open because of sequence position. So categories would benefit from it, just not any %, but like that's fine. Like I would definitely be down to see that used in a category.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a few categories out there that could benefit from it. Just like you said, maybe not 80%, but it's pretty neat to think about. But currently, we don't really have a way of getting up on that ledge, so we'll have to see in the future.
There's actually something interesting in this game that might lead to something. There is a so-called jump storage in this game, but it does not do what it does in TLK.Watch, if you're familiar with that. It does not lead to getting a super jump, unfortunately. But I think it's more like storing knockback, and the next jump you don't even gain height. So it has a bit of similarities to TLK.Watch.
Yeah, there's something to note. I believe actually both games were made on the same engine. And another thing about this game in particular, it was actually meant to be a GameCube game before being ported to the Wii. I think it's the only Paper Mario game that was released in a console's early lifespan, which is pretty neat. Alright, so to talk about this cutscene a little bit that PTL is going through, essentially, there's going to be a lot of backtracking, and there's a bunch of different routing things that we do to save an actual, like a decent amount of time. So right now he's in Merlin's house, and this random guy is going to come in the house and say that there's a random girl up top on Flipside Tower, and we don't know it. I mean, you're not technically a casual player doesn't know it until they go up there, but it's actually Peach. And then when you go up there, Merlin tells you to make a sap soup from the chef from downstairs. But we already know this, and since we already have a fire burst that we picked up in 1-1, we're actually just gonna go to Saffron just straight up, and then use the return pipe after we have the soup, and that skips a lot of backtracking. That's just another example of prior knowledge in this game.
Yeah, the return pipe is actually a pretty cool thing. You just use it to skip some backtracking, essentially. It's also nice because if you get stuck in an area, like if you get stuck out of bounds or something, you can just return pipe out. I just think that's cool. It just prevents soft locks that would happen in like other Paper Mario games that don't have the return pipe.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's some weird properties about it where, like, if Mario isn't visible on the camera, you can't use it technically, I'm pretty sure, but
yeah,
it's definitely, I think it's like a really cool feature. I think this is the only Paper Mario game that has, well, I could be wrong about that because I don't really know much about the later Paper Mario games, but it's something really cool and specific to this game.
Something I find funny here is that he fell from the sky, but Flipside Tower is above here, so she should have fell on the top, not like in the floor.
Yeah, it literally makes no sense. Like, she lands on the first floor. How did she go below? Like, I mean, she can't flip in 3D. There's no way. I mean, did she, like, thudly jump out of bounds? I don't really know. I don't understand it. This game doesn't make sense. And Miyamoto, I want my money back.
Yeah. So, as soon as this cutscene is over, we'll get Peach and we'll immediately switch back to Mario because Peach is very useless in this category. There's only one use of Peach.
Oh, it's so true. She is really useless. She's actually like she actually gets some use in well, actually not really, but she gets some use in 80%, but I think the only time we use Peach is in 2-1. I mean, she technically could be used in a pit to block enemies. If you hold down, basically, like I said, each character has specific abilities. Peach's is she can float in midair with her parasol, and then she can also block and be invincible to enemy attacks by holding down. But just like Zach said, Mario is really the faster character, and obviously has the ability to flip in 3D, so he's going to be used for a majority, likely all the pit, for most runners.
Alright, so PTL is going to be doing enemy jump to the Chapter 2 Heart Pillar.
Oh yeah, so this is a really cool trick. You're basically gonna go grab a squig, toss it on this or actually, yeah, you can just jump in that ledge, take damage, and jump right up to the pillar, which is pretty cool. You can also do another strat by tossing it while running, and it's actually, like, it's not too easy. It's actually pretty easy to miss the throw by a little bit. So a lot of runners just jump right in, and it's, you know, it's pretty good, pretty easy.
Oh yeah, people used on Racktail as well.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I forgot about that. So
people are saying my mic is messed up a little bit, so I'll rejoin.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, PTL is actually heading into 2-1 currently. TLK is still in the pre-Chapter 2 cutscene. Just like we mentioned, it's a really long cutscene. There's a lot that goes on in it. And, hang on a sec. I gotta move Zach back in. Whoops. Alright, you should be back now.
Alright, hello.
Yeah. Alright, you sound better. It's just, I think it's like Discord's robot thing.
Might just be my internet.
Yeah, my ping's good, so it might be. But
so PTL entered Chapter 2. The only reason we have to do this is to get Boomer.
yeah, that is true. So we actually don't complete the level. We just really go in, do most of the level, like we do a majority of the level, but we just get Boomer and leave. Because there's no other need to actually go further into the game since the pit is technically already unlocked by this point. It's just that Boomer is very useful for killing a lot of enemies.
Well, the pit isn't really unlocked. You have to do a clip to get in, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know, you're right. I forgot, but... and just like Teddy said, actually, in chat, technically, Boomerless Pit is a thing, but there's a lot of luck and certain other things that go into that.
It just basically worked out to be slower at the end.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's slower, plus it's less consistent because you have to rely on a lot of luck. So, PTL is doing this strat. So you can do Goomba jump in this room, or you can just use 3D manipulation. Basically, that the set of blocks that the pipe's on, it doesn't extend all the way in 3D. So you can actually walk to the right a little bit, and then flip in 2D while on top of the block, and you can actually just jump up there and go into the pipe. And then there's another...
Yeah, that's another...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
Oh, you're all good. I was just gonna say there's another trick called Goomba Jump, which is I think slightly faster.
I think TLK does Goomba Jump, so we'll get to see that.
That's good.
So there's an interesting thing about this category. You technically can do boomer skip. It works out to probably be like, I think it's like a couple seconds faster, like considering right now, but the shell shock will be used later, so it just is slower. It was good reaction timing for PTL. He reacted to that item drop very fast, so he didn't go in the door.
Yeah, he got another one. What the hell's going on, PTL? You got 2 Peachy Peach drops. That's really cool. Those, I believe, give 10 health. So that's actually pretty useful in the pit. And that's another thing that certain runners use different strategies, especially at the, like, towards the higher end of the leaderboard, like Teddy. If you watch his runs, you'll see him, he might not even go to the shop in certain runs and just rely on RNG drops of healing items.
Or just don't heal at all. I don't think they actually heal, like, at all.
Yeah, if you get experience, if you get experienced enough, you can actually do the pit like without using healing items, which is pretty crazy.
But yeah, like I said, if you do skip getting healing items, then you're going to have to lose time later for sure to deciding if you want to heal. And just having the option to heal right away without questioning it will save you a lot of time back. At least that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Even in real runs, I personally wouldn't skip shopping. Especially with GBS, since you have to go in the shop anyway. It's probably just faster to shop anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Since, I mean, just like you said, since GBS has a bunch of new different things, so it's definitely best to get some extra healing items here and there. So, TLK is entering 2-1, and PTL is getting Boomer right now. Boomer is known as the pixel that I think has the slowest text in the game, so pretty cool. But yeah, PTL is going to use the return pipe, and he's on his way to the pit.
The first time you use a return pipe in a level, it gives you like 3 extra text boxes. It's kind of annoying. Because like the way to hold the controller to move up to the yes option, you can't really mash 1 and 2 for the text, so it's kind of a mess.
Yeah, I believe it's the same way if you were to save as well, hit a save block.
Yeah.
So, PTL, there's a couple cool strats that he can do for getting to the pit, but overall this is a pretty simple maneuvering area. I believe he's just gonna blow up the blocks here. Oh, TLK,
Yeah.
you got a stake drop.
There's no reason to do the clip unless you don't have Boomer out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, there's a clip. TLK got 2 healing items, item drops in that room, but his inventory is already full. So, but yeah, you can clip, and you can also jump into the hole and respawn on the pipe. It's really weird.
So PTL might be going for this very cool strat where you... No, he's not going for it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'll talk about it though. So it's that purple, that squig that PTL just killed. You can actually toss that up on the left ledge and jump on its coconut at the right side of the room, and you can get up on top of that. It's technically, I believe, a little slower than just pointing your rear mode at the screen and unrevealing the 4 blocks, but
I believe it's actually faster if you do it correctly.
oh, interesting.
I forget what the timings were. It was either like the same or faster, if I remember correctly. So PTL didn't for the healing or the 5 HP extra. I don't know what it's called, but there's like a strat to clip out of bounds in that room and get
yeah, the HP plus. There's an out of bounds clip that you can do and get that, and it's sometimes useful to have. But I think PTL is at a decent amount of points, and he's pretty confident with the pit. So, but right now,
we're in the pit.
yeah, we're in the pit. So this is where the run really starts. There's quite a lot of information about the pit that should be talked about. You can start talking about a few things, Zach.
Yeah, so in this third room here, there's like squigglet kind of in their own like area, so you kind of have to flip a bunch in this room. Ideally, you get the key close to the door. He actually got pretty good RNG there. This room can be a mess sometimes. You can like have to go up and around so much.
Yeah, he actually, I think that was a first key on that room as well. Those, I think they're called Sprunglings, but there's a couple things that I want to mention about the pit first. There's a lot of random things in the pit. The key and item drops are random, like, so basically one enemy in each room will have the key, and you need to kill that enemy to get the key to advance. And there's no way of telling, so there's a lot of strategy that goes on with killing certain enemies. The entry... Yeah, you go ahead.
In a race setting like this, the idea is that they will clear the rooms as fast as they can, basically. But in like a run, I guess you could think of it as like hope you get the key super fast and don't lose a lot of time.
Yeah, and there's, like, as we get to the later rooms, you'll see there's certain enemies that, like, the runners may avoid killing just because of how long they take, and opt to go out of their way to kill some faster enemies. It's, like, especially the later rooms.
For example, if there is a Goomba in a room, or if there's like a room with Goombas and Clubbas, for example, you're gonna kill all of the Goombas first before even trying the Clubbas, unless you are very good at killing them fast.
Yeah, so there's... Ooh, PTL got a Fire Burst drop. That's really good. I think he'll get it in time. Oh no, he's not even gonna go for it. I think he already has the Fire Burst. So that's good.
I think he just doesn't... I think he has a full inventory and just doesn't want to deal with that, because he's gotten a lot of drops.
That's true. It's a good drop if you don't have the 2 Fire Bursts for Ragtail. But if you already have it and you have a full inventory, there's nothing for it. So, and like Zach said earlier, there's, like, the Fire Burst is a very common drop in comparison to other items.
Yeah, PTL had some pretty good rooms there, but like 1 or 2 slow rooms, but you could see that it added up to being really fast.
So, another way to tell how fast you go in a room, at the top right of every room, there's actually a 5-minute timer. Technically, if that timer were to run out, you would die, and you'd have to restart the pit, but I'm pretty sure that has never happened in the tournament before. I would highly doubt that happens, because it's these rooms, like, if you know how to kill enemies, like, reasonably fast, there's certain rooms that you can do within, like, depending on RNG, you can do them within, like, 3 to 10 seconds.
So here in the Clefts room, this is the first example of getting benefits from having more points. You could jump on the Clefts instead of using Boomer. Another thing to mention, actually, Boomer's animation when killing an enemy is actually faster because the key spawns instantly, but in some scenarios you might want to just bounce on enemies. It really depends.
Yeah, it depends on, you know, which enemies will be one-hit kills from Boomer, as well as certain other things. But, this room right here, I believe, so I'll try to see which rooms they're on. I believe PTL currently is on, well, okay, TLK is on room 2, and PTL should be on room, let's see here, room 16, so he's...
Oh yeah, 16.
16, yeah, this is the one with the, Tyloids. So yeah, there's quite a few, like, throughout the run, you'll see almost every enemy that this game has to offer. It's a really good way of learning enemies, you know, running or commentating for this game. So, there's specific enemies that may cause more trouble than others. Tyloids, for the most part, are pretty okay. They can be hit with Boomer, even when they're on walls or ceilings or on sides. It's pretty useful. That's where Boomer comes in use a lot in this run. That was a good key, by the way, for PTL on that room.
So now he's in, like, the Koopa room. There's just a bunch of Koopas. The idea is you just kick the shell in 3D, and you kill all of them pretty fast.
And it's this happens a lot to a lot of different runners, but actually the Koopa shell that he picked was the one that had the key. So it's pretty interesting how RNG has a role in that a little bit. Oh, he's down to 4 health currently. I don't think he has the key. I think he should be okay if he heals. Yeah, he just got it. All right.
He probably should heal because he has so many healing items.
So yeah, that's another thing to watch out for in this run. Most runners generally know which level ups, like when the level ups are going to be, and basically every level up you get a refill of health. He's currently a ways away from leveling up. The next one is at 90k. He's at 77. So it's probably his best.
Yeah, a thing that separates kind of better runners in this category is just when they heal.
Ooh.
Like, if you... Oh, no.
You got Koopa Troll.
Well, that's gonna be a good opportunity for TLK to catch up, actually.
Yeah, that is true. So, the Koopa Troll is really, like, the first, enemy for pit runners that either takes a while. This is one enemy that you literally have to be at 60k to, unless you use a shell, obviously. It's a possible soft lock spot for certain runners, but thankfully PTL is already leveled up enough, so.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
So in this room, yeah, he's gonna use the Fire Burst on these, spinies. I don't know why it took so long to say that, but yeah, that's the Fire Burst right there. If you pick him an extra one, it's really useful. Right there, it wipes out. If you can get all enemies on screen, it actually wipes out, I think, probably the entire room.
So now we get to 21.
Yeah, room. He's actually. Oh, yeah. He's actually getting some decent RNG. Yeah. So that was those were boos. You basically lure them towards you by standing away from them, and you can kill a lot of them with Boomer if they give you decent patterns. So.
Wow, this is really good RNG in this section. It's almost making up for the Koopa Troll.
Yeah, that is true. You got like 2 like first or second keys in a row. That's really good.
So PTL is entering room 23. TLK is about to enter room 11. So they're about 10 rooms apart. So a few minutes, depending on how the section goes.
So TLK actually got a I think this is Flim, a Flim spawn. He's looking for certain items to buy. There's some pretty useful ones. He bought an Ice Storm, which is pretty useful in different rooms. So a Thunder Rage is also very useful, but runners will likely check Flim at certain points. Some don't, but it's really up to runner preference.
Yeah, so here's the Chain Chomp room. You cannot kill him if you don't have over 60k points.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting, but that was the soft lock that we were talking about earlier, so. Oh, so this is the first of the Daisy rooms. So Daisies are quite an interesting enemy throughout the pit. Most runners really dislike them. They have little music notes as projectiles. If you get hit by one, you fall asleep. Thankfully, an Amazy Daisy isn't in this room, but there will be one later in the run, and that is probably the most painful enemy to kill.
They put like the worst enemies together in the same room. Paragoombas are actually really annoying.
Yeah, it's really bad. PTL also leveled up, which is good, so he refilled his health there. He's gonna do the pipe jump to get back. He's got it. So that was it wasn't the best of rooms, but honestly, yeah. Oh, so room 27 is literally just a bunch of squiglets.
Yeah, I like room 27, but sometimes it's annoying because if you get last key, you're losing like 20 seconds compared to like a fast key.
Yeah, it's quite
clear the room.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely like an interesting play because the door can be on either side of the room, and there's always going to be a big wall in the middle. So sometimes you won't have to flip at all. Some other times you'll have to flip and come back, just like
Yeah.
PTL did. So it's pretty interesting.
So TLK, fortunately, having to kill the Shorts here to get his key.
Yeah, the Schlurps are another slow enemy to kill, and that's also a Boomer exclusive enemy, so if you were to do Boomerless and have the key be in a Schlurp, I'm pretty positive you would be soft locked, unless there's a different way of killing them.
Yeah, unless you have a catch card and it works, which it doesn't always work. So.
Okay, so PTL, I think, yeah, he's got this, okay, I think
Unfortunately, he got pretty bad RNG here. The one that had the key was far away from the door, so.
Yeah, this room literally only.
Climb up again.
Yeah, the room only has two different. I think they're called novices, but it's pretty unfortunate RNG. But PTL is on room 30, and I believe TLK is in the somewhere in the teens. I'm not exactly sure.
He's in room 16 after this one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because this is 15.
That was a really good Tyloid room for PTL. I actually just noticed that. That room can sometimes take a while because all the Tyloids are on the ceiling and it's really annoying, but that was really good.
So here's another room that can take a long time to clear.
Yeah, Longinators are a very commonly disliked enemy in this game. So, but I think he actually got last key with it, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, they take a while to kill, and there's a lot of them in this room. TLK actually used the Turtley, which is, I don't believe, I mean, Turtley Leaf does have its advantages when it comes to, it basically decreases your defense, meaning you won't take as much damage. So it could actually be pretty useful in later rooms, but yeah, it's pretty cool drop. It's actually pretty
There was the Cursia room for PTL. This time the door was in an unfortunate place, so he has to go around because of the layout.
Yeah.
It's usually the case where you have to go in this kind of enclosed area over here for the door.
Yeah, it's a really weird layout, and it's an unfortunate placement, just like you said. But he actually he used the pipe. So there's pipes in every room, and sometimes it's actually faster to use them to get across like one side of the room to the other. And that was that was one use of it.
Usually it's not useful to use the pipe unless you have like a good plan on clearing the whole room and like say you don't get the key, then you know like to use the pipe. It's only really a plan beforehand.
I think TLK just got Koopa Troll as well. That's 2 Koopa Trolls in one race. That's unbelievable.
Dude, he was 850 points away from not having enough levels.
That is true. I just realized like, he actually cut that really close. So that's another reason why you want to get that grind early on in the game. But that's some pretty unfortunate Room 19s. Oh, and these the enemies on PTL's screen are called Ninjos. They are very irritating. And it's actually like random if they die or not. Like you can either hit them and they'll turn into a bomb, or you can hit them and they'll die. It's really weird, but it's kind of
each time you hit them, there's a chance. I believe it's like a 25% chance that they turn into a bomb, and then you have to try and kill them again.
Yeah, they can get really annoying like that. But you'll get used to them because you'll see them a lot towards the end of the run. They're in a lot.
Yeah, sometimes the game just wants to troll you, and it feels like it's 100% chance that they become a bomb.
Yeah. And
so TLK a really good strat for this room where you just lure all the boos.
That is true. That's actually a really good strat. It worked out really well.
So here are Magic Koopas. Their projectiles still, as soon as they start sending a projectile, like once the animation starts, even if you kill them, their projectile still like keeps forming and then goes towards you, so it's really annoying.
So, thank you, Teddy, for that, by the way. So, a room check, I think TLK is actually in 26 is what I saw. But
24?
Yeah, 24. But PTL is in room 39 currently.
He had some pretty good runs just there.
So yeah, it's been pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, PTL's a decent ways ahead. And there's a lot of showcase of PTL's experience and knowledge of room layouts. And that actually, like, just having a lot of knowledge can help you out a lot in this run. So, pretty useful. That was actually a decent club room too. We got a 10-second club room.
So here's a good example of killing certain enemies before other enemies. You obviously want to try and kill the squigglets before the clubbos.
Yeah, so they're much easier and faster to kill, and that was a good decision there because one of the squigglets had to be. Oh, so this room right here that PTL's in, this is the Koopa Striker room. There's a really cool strat that you can actually just stand right in front of them, kick their shells back to them, and then use Boomer to get a decently fast kill on them. So they're a pretty interesting enemy.
The general rule is just kick it 2 shells and then Boomer once. So TLK unfortunately getting a bad Paraguma / Daisy run.
Yeah, both runners actually had pretty unfortunate runs there. That was 2 good pipe walks for TLK right there. So. And then PTL's on the another Tyloid room, so as you get... Oh, he's got 5 HP, but as you get higher into the pit, the Tyloids get more difficult to kill, or they get faster. There's like 4 different types of Tyloids, so there's a bunch of different ways to... but the main one is just to use Boomer.
Wait, really? Castle? You should click it.
TLK was half out of bounds in the pipe. It was... Oh, are you talking about when he... Yeah, when he flipped, I think he was just in mid-air. Like, that pipe just has really weird geometry. So when he flipped into 2D, I think he was below the pipe because of the...
But I'd look back at it just to see.
Yeah, that is true. Definitely look back, or clip it if anyone can.
Something interesting I don't think we talked about. If you kick a shell, it hits enemies even in 2D, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of interesting properties depending on the shell. I believe the Buzzy Beetle shell will stay on screen, like, or will stay spawned in even if it's off screen, while the red shells and green shells will despawn if they get off screen. So that's...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the Buzzy Beetle shell is actually useful in room 51 to get a very decent point there.
Here's an example of PTL being at low health but close to a level up. There are some pretty dangerous rooms coming up. He probably should heal.
Yeah, he just healed a little bit. This room in particular, you can take large amounts of damage in this room, but he actually got a really good key, so he got first key. That's really good. So this room can take a while.
So here comes the Magic Blots and Squigglets. This is another example where you're going to kill the Squigglets first before the other enemy. There's actually a good strat for killing Magic Blots if you face away from a wall. They'll spawn on the wall, and then you just jump against the wall, I guess. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of 59s. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. But I think this was just a squig. That's all it was, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's just Squigglets.
Alright, so PTL got another Flim spawn. He's going to get a Ice Storm, which is pretty good. And then he's going to be going into 51, and I think he already leveled up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But he's going to get a decent amount of points here in this room.
Yeah, so this room is an example of using the Buzzy Beetle to rack up a lot of points because it stays off screen. Actually, I don't know if he is doing that. Oh, okay, never mind. He is.
Yeah, he is. He's just...
Usually you wouldn't use Boomer there.
Yeah, you'd use Boomer, like, I mean, the ideal strat there, if you want to gain a lot of points, is to use Boomer on the enemies that are in the top level, and then just let the Beetle work on the enemies down below. This is the Pigorhythm room.
Pigorhythm, yeah.
They drop a lot of coins, and they're very useful if you get into the fun spawn.
I'm actually surprised he didn't try and kill the Pigorhythm. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if he didn't flip there, he would have been able to stay in the socket with the door, so he wouldn't have to go all the way up through this pipe. So
Yeah, that is true.
it was actually the one with the key, so if you just and there's a pig, you would want to kill it first.
Yeah, that's really rough. So that specific door location is very, very common. That whole room layout, but yeah, the best strategy is to kill that one enemy in 2D, and if it has the key, you're gonna get a really nice.
Yeah, sometimes the door does spawn on the bottom. It's like, I don't want to say 50-50. I think it's a higher chance that it does spawn in the top than it does in the bottom. But it's something to know. It's not always in the top.
Yeah, for sure. This is another Clubba room. There's a lot of Clubbas in the entire pit, but this one's a Clubba and Dry Bones room. The Dry Bones are pretty easy to take out as long as you keep them asleep or just laying down. You can do that.
Yeah, what I find interesting is it's actually faster to kill the Clubbas first instead of the Dull Bones, but it's a lot harder to kill the Clubbas. So like a level runner would kill the Clubbas first because you can do a lot of strats to kill them fast.
Yeah,
with a Dull Bone, you place Boomer a bunch of times.
And I think it's probably been mentioned already, but the best strat for killing Clubbas, if they're under a low ceiling, if they're under a low ceiling and facing away from you, you can crouch jump, and get a lot of hits on them, and it's a very useful strat, but sometimes they won't have a ceiling above them, or they'll be facing towards you, and they're tough to deal with sometimes. This next room that PTL's in, this is 56. This is the Dark Boos room. Dark Boos are another enemy that drops a fair amount of coins. And they basically move in 3D and then flip when they're right next to you. So the best strategy is to sit in one spot and use Boomer, but there's certain room layouts that have other enemies that you'd want to kill while getting Dark Boos.
Yeah, interestingly enough, TLK is actually staying pretty close to PTL. It's been like a 15 room difference ever since entering the pit, so even that means TLK is on probably a pretty big PB base, which is really good.
Yeah, I'd agree. There's definitely been, especially in the last tournament, there's definitely been some runs where once both runners get to the pit, there's a very massive gap that sort of continues on in the pit, but TLK has actually been playing really nice and getting some decent luck, which is...
Yeah, if he had a better pre-pit, then he could be even with PTL here.
That's true. Oh, this is 58. PTL is gonna heal here because he was down to 8, but this is the Amazy Daisy room. Something to look out for is that the Amazy Daisy has a chance of shooting a music note at you, and if you get hit by it, it does 10 damage, which in some cases, like, there's definitely been some instances where runners forget about their health and don't realize that they're under 10, and then they get hit and die instantly. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's why it's always good to heal early on and keep high health. So here with the actual Magibot room that I talked about earlier on accident, if you face away from a wall that's on a small platform, you can essentially just let them spawn behind you and then kill them easily. PTL's stream actually froze on my end, but not TLK's.
Yeah, I'm resetting the stream just to get an updated view. Oh,
So he took care of the Magibot there.
yeah, he did. He used the wall strat, which is pretty good. So those were, you've seen them throughout the run, but they're boomboxers. if you use Boomer on the ground and any boomboxers are visible on screen, they'll actually be stunned for a little bit, which makes them a little bit easier to kill. And you can actually walk up to them. I think PTL did that. You can walk up to them and you won't even take damage from them, which is pretty interesting.
So here's another example of a room where dull bones are so slow to kill, but they might be easier to kill than the enemy. So you just kind of pick and choose which enemy you want to go for first.
Yeah, definitely. This is actually a pretty unfortunate room. Not the best RNG, but that just happens sometimes. I think this is last enemy. Yeah, it's the very last dull bones in this room. Or it could be this dark too, I'm not for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's the dark goo. That dark goo's taking forever to spawn. They can do that sometimes. Some of them just sort of float around in a corner, and you have to flip in 3D to see where they are.
Very unfortunate room for PTL.
Ooh, yeah, so another thing about Clubbas, they do, oh my god. Okay, that's a really terrifying room. He got down to 2 health there. But another thing about Clubbas is that they do 3 damage, and then along with the boomerang bros in the room, they do 3 damage. So it's really, like I said, like there's certain rooms where you literally blink for a second and the runner's taking like 12 damage points. So some of these rooms can be really rough. Thankfully, PTL's out of there alive.
So TLK should be entering 51 now, and I believe PTL is on 64, sorry. Because it's the title, remember the golden ones.
Yeah. So TLK actually got another Ice Storm, which is useful. And I believe, yeah, he's gonna do the level strat here. And this will, I think, if it works, he should be able, oh no, he's gonna run down, kill him, which is another strat, but, you can actually, he might be able to get to, 120k if he was able to, keep that grind going. So yeah, PTL's on 65 now. I think there's only 2 enemies in this room. That's a really good room, that's first key.
Yeah, 65 is just a free room, basically.
Now 66 is a little bit more difficult. Bunch of ninjas everywhere, and yeah, it's pretty tough.
So ideally here, if you want to be optimal, you'd probably go for the ninjas. Well, I don't know. It's just preference, because you have to hit the skelebits twice to kill them, and with ninjas, you can hit them once with Boomer. Obviously, they are RNG, so you might want to focus on the skelebits first. It just is preference, I guess.
Yeah.
Still getting another last key.
And it's actually, so later in the run, it's actually helpful to get to 200k level before the next Skelebit room, because you can actually one-shot them with Boomer if you do.
Yeah, it's very nice to have 200k by then.
Yeah. So, that was actually a decent run for TLK there. And he's going into, I believe,
63, I think. Or 53?
54.
Oh, 54.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm doing this based off memory. I forgot to pull up the notes, unfortunately.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
I have quite a good memory on some of the rooms, I think. So, PTL getting pretty bad RNG in the Longinator room again. I don't know what the names of the enemies are, I'm just gonna guess on that.
Yeah, it's a Longinator. But PTL actually got a Thunder Rage drop, which is very good. That can be used on room 98, I believe. That's the one with the red chain chomps. And you can kill 3 of them in a row very easily with the Thunder Rage, so that's pretty helpful. These are...
nice.
Yeah, that is true. That's why TLK has been picking up a few Ice Storms as well. These are more Koopa Strikers. This room's a little bit more crazier than the last, depending on where you spawn.
Nice drop.
Yeah, that was a really good, like a pretty decent.
Yeah, dude, I really like that room because, like, if you go all in and attack them, you can get a very fast room if you're, like, good at dodging, like, the shells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So, like, his approach is kind of stay safe, but, like, if you're practice, like, with movement, you can, like, go all in and kill them very fast.
Yeah, it's a pretty satisfying room. There's quite a few of those in this run. These are a different type of I actually forget the name of this enemy,
We'll
but
call them gold moon clefs.
yeah, yeah, that's it. So, but you actually use Boomer to flip them upside down, since they have spikes on their head. PTL's best possible time is at 1:30.04, which is pretty.
Yeah, that means TLK is for sure on PB base. He's like on like maybe 135 base.
Yeah, he's still.
That's possible.
He's still
Only a
decent.
few minutes.
TLK's on the Amazing Daisy room. He's actually at 7 HP. Okay, the Daisy ran away, so yeah, he just leveled up too. So that's good.
Yeah. Scary.
And he got the key, so
Okay, good.
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah,
No one, but everyone could control.
yeah, that's good. I'm okay with that.
I'm just gonna refresh the screen quickly, so.
Yeah, I'll actually refresh some of mine too, just to keep them up to date. There we go. Okay. Okay, so yeah, PTL's down to 6 health, but he'll probably be okay. He'll use a healing item soon. He just got the key. And then TLK got the key, so we'll be able to do a quick room check here, I believe. Okay, yeah, PTL's on the Rough Puff room, which is room 75. And then TLK is on 60, so again, 15 rooms apart. So TLK is on a really decent run right now, I'm pretty sure, in comparison to his PB.
Yeah, he's stayed 15 runs away since entering pit. It was pretty much
Yeah, it's true.
just obviously the pit could have changed some things also.
Mm.
Good boom.
Ooh, 2 good rooms in a row for PTL there. I think both of those were first key.
Aye.
That's a really good magic lot room too. That room can take a while.
I was gonna talk about Maggie Blots, but now I can't.
Yeah, you gotta wait till a few rooms from now. Alright, so that room is also another free room. That was a really good spawn. Both enemies were next to each other there. TLK having some trouble on Clubbas. This room's difficult for...
Yeah, I believe the door also is usually in.
Yeah. So yeah, really, I mean, not bad runs from both of them. They're a decent amount apart, but both runners on PB pace, so this is pretty exciting to see. This is the next... I keep forgetting the names of these enemies, but, yeah, unfortunately, PTL's not at 200k, which makes these enemies a little more difficult, but it's okay. Skeleton. I'm literally stupid. Okay. Alright, so yeah, PTL's got...
So here's the golden. Okay. PTL actually got a gold on the last segment.
Ooh, that's really good. TLK got a block. That can actually be useful in certain rooms, but not too many.
TL is pretty low on health again.
Yeah, he's playing it pretty safe, but he's gonna do it. here. He should be good to just save his healing items for the next level up. And then he's gonna do the magic blast.
Like, he's still definitely good to finish as long as he plays smart.
Ooh, nice. That's a decent key for that room. He's got like a 14-second room there.
Yeah, sometimes the magic blocks are in 3D and they're really annoying.
Yeah, some of these rooms can be annoying. This room is one of the better rooms in the last 20. The gerbils are pretty easy to kill. He actually just leveled up, which is nice. And he got the key. Good stuff. So this room has Slurps and Spanias. So again, Spanias would be ideal to kill first before killing any Slurps. Oh, and he got
basically skipping the ninja room there.
That is true, and he actually got a Spania key drop, so that's more good.
Yeah, as soon as you have to kill the Slurps, you lose a lot of time.
He got poisoned, but he should be fine.
Yeah, they always drop a poison curing item. So it might be worth it, like for TLK, for example, to kill all of the poison enemies in this room if he gets low on healing items. It's an interesting thing to think about when entering this room.
I'm not sure what TLK got hit by. I might go back in the VOD and look at that. That was really weird. He sort of got hit in midair.
So PTL's using a Thunder Rage in this room. It could be a bit useful. I believe it does not spot the Koopa Trolls. Yeah.
Oh, actually, did that do damage? I think it did.
Wow, PTL with a really fast room, 86, I believe, or 88. It's one of those.
That was a really, yeah, he got a really good key on that room. Okay, he's in 87 currently. This room can actually be pretty fast, depending on enemy placement. There's some pretty easy enemies in this room, and he got a good key. TLK is on Koopa Strikers. So, as we get towards the late 80s and the 90s, there's going to be a lot more ninjos and ninjeries that show up all throughout the run.
TLK pretty low on health here.
Yeah, down to 7. Yeah, he should be okay. This room can definitely deal a lot of damage. PTL's getting a lot of Shroom Shake drops, which is pretty nice, but he's already good.
So the key should have spawned near the door for TLK, yeah.
So PTL's out of 88, which is good. And then I'll get a room check for TLK. This is the room that we were talking about where you're going to use the Shell Shock here. This is the same Shell Shock that we picked up in 1-1 like an hour ago. So it's pretty neat to see it used. I think... Ooh, it despawned. That's rough. It actually despawned on its way towards the end of the room.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a pretty big time loss.
Yeah, so certain runners have different strats for using that Shell Shock, but a lot of runners, especially if they spawn up top, they'll go to the very top and just use...
TLK got a very needed healing drop, it looks like.
Yeah, he's actually still on 4 health again. I hope he heals soon. He's actually... No, he needs to wait a little more time for a level up. Yeah, he healed right there, so he's fine. Yeah, PTL going into 91, the final 10 rooms here. Pretty decent run. Teddy's saying that this run can sub 130 possibly, which is pretty exciting. That's a good key. Yeah, you got first key in that room. You definitely want to get first key there, because killing that second enemy can be really tough. Some more ninjas here. Ooh, another good key. That was a 6-second room. Wow, there's a lot of enemies in that room. That can be really tough. We'll see how his RNG fares throughout the rest. Yeah.
They're both on pretty good runs for their skill levels. Which is good.
He's low, he's gonna have to heal you. Yeah, he should be okay. These ninjas are really annoying. He's gonna kill. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, so that Cursia had the key. It's not too bad of a room. So these are Fire Bros, and ooh, another first key. That's really good.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, it's really good, and he did a pretty decent job by going to the right side there, just to make sure that the door was over there. There's a greater chance that the door's on that side of the room, so it's very useful. You got an ice.
PTL is in 95 and TLK is in 75, so they're about 20 rooms apart.
Mm-hmm. I think he got
So
two.
it looks like PTL has been gaining a lot.
Yeah, the PTL's been having some really good rooms here.
Interesting use of the Ice Storm by TLK there.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
The PTL actually got 2 Ice Storm drops in that room there from the Skelebits, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So some more Boomerang Bros, another first key. Wow.
What the fuck? I don't think this is quite sub 130 pace though.
No, but I think, I mean, I don't exactly remember. If his PB is a 131 still, then this will definitely be.
It should be pace
Yeah,
for him though.
this is definitely PB, so that's pretty exciting. This
You might
room,
be seen in this race.
yeah, we might. This room also the hardest, 97. Tough room for a lot of runners. So good stuff there.
Oh, yeah, what a hard room. It's actually very RNG heavy, that room. You could sometimes spawn right next to the squiglet and next to the key door if you get lucky. Had to happen once.
Alright, so yeah, like we said, the Ice Storm or the Thunder Rage will work great on these enemies. And you can just line 3 of them up and hope one of them has it. And PTL got it.
Looks like he's gonna get about a 130. So that should be about a minute cut off of his PB, which is very good.
That's pretty exciting. That's a very good run to get in the tournament. Then, yeah, this last room, just a bunch of magic blots, but he got the key pretty fast, so that's really good.
Nice.
So yeah, this should be it.
Should be about a 130-30. It's very nice.
Yeah, 130-37 is what he said his pace was. That's pretty good. And then TLK is also on really decent PB pace. I'm not exactly sure what his pace is looking like, but he'll probably...
Yeah, probably not 130 pace, but somewhere in the 140 range, which would be a few minute PB for sure. If that nice there.
Yeah, so pretty
So
exciting.
PTL, yeah, this was a pretty good race. Definitely good runs for each side. So PTL has been saving 2 fire bursts for Ractail. They're not really needed. They just take like 2 seconds in the fight and maybe save like a bit of a struggle, I guess. TLK is gonna shop here.
Yeah, which is
more healing. Nice.
Oh, he's actually gonna get an Ice Storm, which is pretty good.
Yeah, so now basically TLK is just in it for the PB now. Unless PTL magically dies on the tail.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, PTL actually did the same strat from the Fractal fight by TLK. So whenever he gets to the Pigorhythm rooms, he grabs them with throw, and it looks so weird, but it's cool.
Yeah, I saw him do that in his PB. It was funny.
It's good stuff.
Very early, which is nice.
And then those were the 2 fire bursts there, and then for we can just use the Fractal strat, and since we have Peach now, we can actually just hit his head. Ooh! Oh no! Okay, he's got an Ice Storm. That's a decent backup. He didn't jump with Peach, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, he should have stayed a bit higher on the screen. Does he have 2 Ice Storms? Or
He does. He does. He used to. So he's
very,
safe.
very lucky.
He's only gonna need to hit like 1 or 2. Yeah, he's just gonna hit 2.
I don't know if this is PvP anymore. I think it's PvP's a little under the one.
We'll see. Okay, he got it this time.
That'd be an unfortunate way to kill a PvP base.
I think he's got he finished at
I
like
think
130 exactly, I think.
Yeah, it's a little less than a minute. It's like 55 seconds for killing Ragtail, I think.
Okay, I think
might be...
this might be really close to a 130. I don't know if my timing's accurate to his run.
Yeah.
Let me actually refresh the stream so I get it right.
Yeah, I don't believe that he lost 40 seconds to that. I think it was like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
There's a dog outside. I don't know if you hear that.
No. No.
Okay, good. GG's PTL. That was a good run.
Yeah, GG's. And there it is.
With Koopa Troll.
I got a 130.56. He said he got a 130.55 on his timing, so that's pretty good. That's a really decent run. And a PB by 6 seconds.
Wait, you got a 131.01, wow.
That's crazy. He was actually really close to PB, so that's pretty good.
At least a PB, like especially in a race setting like this, that shows that he could really hold up well in the tournament. It with the block, nice.
That's a really good use of the block. But yeah, so a cool, another cool thing that we're adding to this year's tournaments is post-race interviews. It's completely runner's choice, like it's completely optional if they like to join the call and talk about their run. I believe PTL told me earlier that he's not going to, but if you have anything you'd like to say about your run, just leave it in chat and I can read it on stream. Yeah, keep going.
He's gonna be finishing quite soon. He might actually be on like a low 140 pace because he only has 10 rooms to go plus Ragtail. Or 12 rooms to go.
Yeah, he's actually really good.
Is like 139, 138 pace. Someone could confirm that for me. Who knows the category better?
That's actually a really big PB for him if he does. Yeah, Teddy said this could sub 140, which is really awesome.
That means he might have a chance in his next tournament match. It's a loser's bracket, right?
Yeah, it is a lose. So we're doing double elimination just like last time. I believe he'll play the loser of. I have to. Yeah, that's probably it. I'll have to pull up the bracket. PTL's going to the arcade. This is a hit percent prediction.
So yeah, tomorrow there will be another race at, I believe 9 EST.
It'll actually be exactly this time tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow with Zach versus Jack, which is pretty cool. Another exciting round 1 race. We have, I guess to talk a little more about the tournament, we have 6 participants this time instead of 8, but we're still in for a pretty decent tournament. A lot of the top runners are back. I think the only like top 5 runner that didn't join, that was in the last tournament that didn't join was Mohawk. So, but we should still, like, Teddy's back, Castle's back, Zach just got a sub 130. PTL can definitely sub 130 very soon.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll have some very exciting races coming up soon. Teddy literally got
to see how this goes for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, and I guess another thing I should mention is that there's a free cash prizes for the top three finishers. So that's another pretty decent incentive.
Yeah, it doesn't look like TLK is gonna be 1/3.
My bad. I have weird. That's that. So that's the no. Okay, that's not that. Damn it.
I mean, it is on.
Yeah.
But that might be a bit annoying to type out.
So. There we go.
Yeah, it can't sub 140, but it's still a good pace.
Yeah, still
Especially
really...
because it was a 153 or something. He should be PvPing by like 10 minutes as long as he plays safe. And doesn't get trolled in the later rooms here, which these ninjas are being a bit mean.
Yeah, this is the, I believe this was one of the rooms PTL got first try. So this is the complete opposite of that room. This is how that room can go. You can actually, if you want to type it out in chat, I'll read it on stream. It'll probably be easier, but it's up to you. Oh god, I gotta fix the commentators thing on this stream. Whoops. It's a little better. It's hard to read, but whatever.
I believe TLK has one more healing item. I might be wrong. I hope he has more healing items.
Yeah, we're about to find out. We'll see.
The last rooms of the pit are actually very easy to not take damage in. Like, they're a bit more lenient than like the 70 to 80s range.
Mm-hmm.
He is very low on health.
he's good at
yeah, he's got it. Yeah, he's got like 3 healing items and a life room, so it's very likely that he's going to be PvPing.
Mm-hmm. A life shroom's actually pretty useful to have in this run in case you get bombarded by enemies. You'll still be okay.
That's a good safety measure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely better than the HP plus because it takes about the same time to get, but one of them literally prevents you from dying, so...
Yeah, it's definitely helpful.
I think at the point you're getting the HP plus, you should just get the life room.
Yeah.
In my...
That's... Okay, so that's, actually... Unless I missed it on PTL screen, but that's the first, use of jumping onto the lock in 3D that we've seen this race. It's a pretty cool strat, but it saves a decent amount of time. Yeah.
I guess because, like, it's not constantly used.
Mm-hmm. It's really situational, but it's pretty good to know.
Yeah, so it looks like TLK is going to be getting about a 142 here, 143, something like that.
So, actually, Castle, I was looking, I'm pretty sure the 2 people that get to the winners finals have automatic 3rd place. So there's still a chance that both of you could lose out and not get a 3rd place. Like, no one right now is secured.
In the losers bracket, and then you go not 3rd.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different, like a bunch of different things that can happen. Yeah, it's all good.
You need to win one of your races at least.
Yeah, if you win one of your races, you're getting 3rd, is what I'm trying to say. You and Teddy.
Yeah, but since we're like lower in like the seedings or whatever, I don't know how it works, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's seeding that's automatically done by challenge, so I just kind of went with it. Yeah, you could submit the tournament.
Pog Chamo.
Pog Chamo. Pog. Oh wait, I can do the same thing there. Pog. What's that? There we go.
Alright, so TLK entering the Magic Bullet room.
I'm gonna use an ice.
At worst, this will probably be a 143.
He's gonna use an ice storm on a lot of these enemies.
Yeah, that's a good call. He might also want to use the
Ooh, wow. That was a good grind.
leaf.
Oh, he got it. He got the...
Nice.
So yeah, this will be 140. Like a 140, maybe a 141. Oh, sorry, I'll read it. My bad. So yeah, PTL on his run says this. The run was overall good, besides from the Koopa Troll and a bad 61 to 70 RNG. But he knows now that he's capable of sub 130, and he got his best Chapter 1 exit at 2830. Some of his movement was bad and kind of sloppy, but hey, it's really good, and now I know that I can improve. That's pretty good, and that's, again, congrats on the PB. Like, I know you're gonna sub 130 soon, which is really good, because I'm pretty sure our top 4 seeds will all have sub 130 very soon. I'm willing to bet that. Yeah, GG to both runners. GG to TLK on this PB here. This is gonna be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, about a 10-minute PB.
Mm-hmm.
One of those in with us.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with TLK's run, because I'll be honest, I hadn't watched one of his runs before, but I'm really impressed with how well he stayed on pace, like behind PTL. They were 15 rooms apart for almost to the very end, and that's a really impressive thing, because I know when I when I did races for this, I think it was my match against Gamer Squiddy last tournament, but I'm the exact opposite. I can stay on pace up to the pit, and then there's a sizable difference because I just lack knowledge and experience, but it's pretty impressive to me. Yeah, so PTL's, or what am I saying, TLK is, I don't think he has, yeah, he doesn't have any Ice Storms or Fire Burst left, so.
That's not a huge issue.
Yeah, this is normal.
He has a shroom.
Oops. Oops. So good stuff.
Stream playing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like he's gonna get about a 143. Oh, unfortunately, he doesn't land on the thingy. What it's called?
The big, I don't know, the antenna. That's, I guess, what it's called. But...
Yeah.
So it's, oh no, I forgot that these enemies do 10 damage if you get hit by them. That's really scary.
Yeah. Well, it's 10 if you get hit by like the projectile.
That's true.
But he'll probably be fine. He has like a life stream and all that stuff. I think he even has a couple extra healing items.
Yeah, that should be it. Nice job, TLK. And congrats on the PB, I believe, over 10 minutes. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that was over 10-minute PB, or about 10 minutes.
Nice stuff.
That's very good.
Yep, GG's to both runners. Thank you all. Well, actually, we're not done yet. So,
Not done.
yeah, TLK is going to have an opportunity to come in here or type something out about his run, anything he wanted to say.
Do you want me to add him in the chat?
Yeah, in chat or in Discord, whichever works. Just let him know. So yeah, second tournament has been kicked off, so pretty good stuff.
So it's looking to be 130 or 143, 30 something. Depends on.
Oh, I forgot the split. It was a 133-30, 143-32. That was it.
Okay.